Only God can make a man. If God is going to make a man in his own image and in his own likeness, God is the originator and the original. He's going to make a man as a prototype or a copy of himself.
All men and boys join the FOI, but the second part is and train them fast and make them brave fighters.
When we're in battle, you have to have the mind that whomever is facing you, whomever you are facing, destruction is for them. Because as we walk in peace, and fear will not prevail.
You fight to the death. Cause the Muslims gonna fight. We ain't got no gun, but we got a God and we are gonna fight.
And I gotta shout to my brother FOI, I've been before you for 44 years without my teacher, and nothing happened to me on my watch with my brother. And I damn sure have a lot of strong souls.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a man that wanted to strengthen the family, because if there is no strong family, there can be no strong people or nation. If we want a strong nation, then we must produce strong men and women with strong commitment to each other through the institution of marriage.
Any man that is not producing is not living up to the nature in which he's created. Every one of you is a producer. Every conscience out here.
The value of an FOI that has submitted his will to do the will of God and is now an active person in the mission of saving our people. Do you know how valuable you are?
You gotta want it. You gotta desire to be a Muslim. You can't window dress this. You can't say it from your lips. You gotta want it with all of your heart, all of your mind, all of your soul and strength. Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, and his Christ. We don't have no spook God. He's alive, and our God is real.
Man is man without God. Yes, sir. But when man reconnects to God, and the wisdom of God is brought back to man, there is no more man, there is only God.
Who appeared in the person of Master Farad Muhammad and raised from us the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and left with us the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And those wonderful names, I greet you in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Also, we'd like to say thank you and appreciation for our National Director of the 10,000 Fearless, the Southern Regional Minister of Atlanta, and the Southern Region Student Minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad. We like to say thank you for all your work and your sacrifice. But today, family, roll your sleeves up. Roll your sleeves up, because we're going deep. You know, we're pushing this culture of how to eat to live. But before God told Adam what to eat, he told Adam that you need a woman. We'll deal with that food later. So we got a very serious topic, but we got the right people on deck to deal with it. They're called the marriage keepers. The marriage keepers, Brother Marcus, and Sister Cecilia Muhammad. Welcome to the 10,000 Fearless podcast.
Thank you so much. We're happy to be here.
Okay, now I can excuse myself. Y'all can go from here. No, seriously. Family, so can you just open the door and let us know what you all do and have been doing?
Yes, Bala, and again, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to everyone. We are known as the Marriage Keepers by God's grace and permission. We go all over the country doing marriage seminars and trainings, single success weekends, one-on-one counseling, family counseling, helping our community to do what the minister says. He wants to see successful marriages, successful family. And so therefore we have produced 17 books to help people to be able to take tips and actually put them into practice immediately. So our thing is, how we coin it is fight for your marriage, fight for your relationship, but also learn advanced relationship skills so that we remove the toxicity that we know so well and replace it with healthier habits.
That is one. They wasn't prepared for this, but I got to tell y'all a story. So when I first came into the mosque, they were young Muslims. I want to say you all might have been newlyweds. This was 93. And that's about 93. Yes, and they would invite, because I'm building this for something. They would invite the Muslims over to their apartment after mosque. Now, let me just tell you, so many people would come to their apartment that we had to take shifts stepping in and out the apartment. But I said that to say that you all are doing this, but you all have always genuinely been caring about the believer community. You all have always, before you qualified yourself, or whereas it relates to marriage counseling, your genuine concern was the believer community. So on behalf of the Nation of Islam, I'd like to thank you at this time. No trophies, but I've had to say thank you. Brother, y'all have always been on, I've been in mosque over 30 years, and they have always been doing that. So thank you. So how did the retreats start?
Well, we had a sister who was doing singles work, and she said one day, I'm going to do something for marriages. And she was out of Tennessee, and she said, you know what? Who can we get to do this? So she saw us because we were doing marriage work and whatnot. And so she approached us to do a marriage retreat. And the first one was held in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, in this beautiful condo. I mean, what was it? It was a luxury cabin that they had up there. And we did the marriage retreat for her for 4 days or 3 days, what it was. It was 3 days at that time. And by God's grace, it was successful. Couples came from all over the United States to Tennessee for that particular thing. And by God's grace, it was successful. We had a wonderful time doing that. And so it just continued. The next year we were in, the next year we did a cruise to the Bahamas. And then we did another cruise to Jamaica. And then we came back to the Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and then we did Santa Ana, California, and we were out there with Minister Abdul Malik Saeed. That's where we got the name Marriage Keepers from. One of his believers had said that
y'all need a name.
y'all need a name to call it something. And so they said the Marriage Keepers, and Brother Minister Abdul Malik Saeed took it to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, and the rest is history.
Oh, it's been blessed.
Because he said, I like that name. And so we are so blessed to be here and to be on your show. Thank y'all very much for this opportunity to come on your show, to bless you all with what we have.
You're helping us. You're blessing.
Oh, my brother. Thank you so much.
Accepting the invitation.
Thank you.
Coming out, man, because we don't really understand how soldier serious the marriage culture is as it relates to the mission. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad once made the statement, and it's been on my heart for the last few shows, that he was Yaqub in reversing, and all the things that Yaqub had to do to graft a person or graft a man or graft a God, if you will.
Yes.
Those are the things that he would have to do. And he mentions in the instructions that Yaqub gave that they had to be healthy. They had to be good breeders. But he said they also had to be married and married at an early age. What is your thoughts about that?
Oh my God. We got married very young.
Also, been trying.
We wanted to, of course, help Minister Farrakhan in the worst way. And I knew what I wanted. I wanted to be married to help him. And so we got married at 19 years old.
Wow.
And it's been a lot of trials and tribulations, but we're still here. This is our 32nd year of being married.
July 4th, July 4th, be 30.
Praise be to Allah. That is awesome.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
And that's where our passion comes from, because we can say that what we have been taught as Muslims in the Nation of Islam, when we say there is no error in our teachings, there's no error in the teaching, it's how we applying what we have been taught. So if we are applying what we have been taught, then you can make marriage work. You can do what is necessary to be successful. Is it romantic? Oh, happily ever after? No, you got bumps, you got hills, you got mountains. You slide down the mountain, you got to go back up the mountain. You got all kind of dynamics in marriage, in relationships, but we have to use what we have been taught. That's why we tell people, we get excited because it's like we lived it. Right. To be 19 and now we're both 52 years old now. Our oldest child is 32. Our youngest is 20. We have 6 children. Our youngest is 21. So it's like when we tell people, like, look, I have no hesitation to tell you Muhammad's way is the right way. Follow it, and you will be successful.
You mean to tell me that not only do you two work on each other, but you all have 6 children?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And still got time to deal with us? Oh, you can't tell me, God. You can't tell me, but that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Oh, that's amazing. So I was going with that one. That caught me off guard. But yeah, okay. So now you guys get out there, you start doing the retreats, and things going well. Material. How did the material come about?
We have we put together a booklet for the people. But as it went on, I realized that I was sufficient, but I was not. I was a little insufficient too, so I went back to school. Okay? Because I wanted to know and have everything in place for people when I talk to them. And what happened was, people would hear me, they would hear me speak, and they would be like, oh my God, Marcus, that was beautiful. What college did you go to? And I would turn around silently from the school. And after I heard enough, they said they always followed up with, oh. They follow up with, oh. And after I heard enough O's, I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get my degree. And I went to school. I got my master's degree from Indiana Wesleyan University. And what happened from there is my degrees in marriage and family therapy, because that's the work I want to do to help Minister Farrakhan. And I can tell you that we need help in whatever area we're trying to help them in, you know, and I know that you got to go to school for some of this. You do have to get a knowledge of what you're trying to do. And so I've heard Minister Farrakhan mention that we need to be stronger in our approach to this thing called marriage. And so that's what I'm trying to do to help him with this thing.
And the books also came from, once you leave somebody and you give good advice or good information, then you want them to continue to practice the good information. You want them to practice the healthy tips. You want them to remove the toxicity, we can say, well, you know, my mama did this, my daddy did this is the way I grew up. Okay, that's good in the beginning. But as you go along in life, like even now we tell our own children, whatever our deficiencies were that you got from being our children, work on yourself, because you have no excuse to say, oh, well, my mama did this, or oh, my daddy did that to me. Okay, own it now. Change that behavior. So the books are designed to help people to change the behaviors, to help you get different behaviors in your life as a father, as a mother, as a brother, as a sister. And it goes back to what the minister told us. Again, everything goes back to what we're taught. Self-improvement is the basis for community development. Your whole body is your community. Your whole body is a community. So if you are a community, then start with working on yourself.
All right, well, since we know we qualified 30 years plus marriage, matriculated and qualified yourself, when we get back, we're going to go deeper into what our brother and sister here has been doing for the nation and what they see for the future. So we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we'll continue.
Sisters, you don't let no man take from you what you don't wish to give. Now you have to fight for your dignity. Don't let no man, I don't care if he put a gun to your head. He wants from you what you don't want to give. Kill him. Kill him. But say, Allahu Akbar. And then strike with that power. And I guarantee you, his knees will buckle. If he come near you with a penis, cut it off. Cut his throat. Won't give him nothing but death. Because that's what a rapist deserves. You see my sisters standing around me. They are my support. They are soldiers, willing at any time to give their lives for Allah's sake and righteousness. It is time that women all over the world are recognized for that which God has put in them for the whole world. Never again shall we walk with our women behind us. Never again shall we permit women to be disrespected and dishonored in any society here or anywhere else on the earth. It is the time that Almighty God wants women to take their rightful place, and this is why this world is on its way to hell. It is because it has not respected the mother of civilization.
We want to acquaint you today with your divinity and then call on you to be yourself.
Mr. Muhammad, one of the things that the press has commented upon regarding your religion is the training of some of the followers in karate and judo. This seems to frighten many people. They have called your bodyguards stormtroopers, as I recall in the press.
Well, we can't.
Not that they were stormtroopers, but they
can't
appeared to be like one.
We can't stop people from calling us whatever they want.
But why is there an emphasis on training boys to use karate and judo, which are so violent in nature?
Well, I think we see it being taught and trained by your people too. They are trained in it. I see them training, and I see their actions and everything. And why should not we train some way to try and protect our own self when that we have no arms whatsoever?
You carry no arms,
No, sir.
and you teach the boys karate and judo for self-defense. Is that the point you want to make?
Exercise is a kind of a thing that is good to exercise a man's body.
Do you believe in nonviolence, the nonviolence theory?
I believe in the teachings of the Holy Quran in that respect, that to never to be the aggressor.
Thank you so much.
So, family, we have a plethora of material that we want to encourage the people to get. Do you all have websites, some information that you
Yes.
get that?
We do. It's www.themarriagekeepers.com. Again, it's www.themarriagekeepers.com.
And so I was sitting here because I'm divorced, I've been single way too long,
Yes.
and no, seriously, and I need to get myself together to get married. So now that I'm sitting here with the professionals, right? What are the good elements? I'm being real, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are the elements of a good marriage?
Number one is having God at the center. That's number one. You as the brother have to have a relationship with God for yourself. The sister has to have a relationship, no matter what your religion is, whether it's Islam, Christian, whatever it is, you have to have a divine connection to the Creator outside of yourself, because that is what you draw on to help you to get through. That's number one.
The second thing is you gotta have faith in that God. You gotta have faith in yourself. Because it ain't gonna work if you have faith in the God, but you ain't got no faith in yourself. You got to really focus on really 4 things. Who am I? Where am I going? How am I going to get there? And who is going to help me? This is what I've taught all throughout everything. Who am I? Where am I going? How am I going to get there? Who is going to help me? People want to help you, but you got to let them know that you need help. Right. You know, you need help. Is something that people are bound to give you if you ask for it. And I can tell you that I received so much help in my life. Oh my God. When my marriage was struggling in the very beginning, I received help from the student ministers. They helped me. And that's why I'm here today doing this service for everyone else. All praise to Allah.
And number 3 is communicate. You have to communicate and listen to the other person. And like I mentioned, we have 17 books, and our last couple of ones are dealing with conflict resolution and communication in marriage and in general communication, but especially when you are married to a husband or a wife, it is listening to what they are trying to say. How can we bring it together? It's not forcing someone to do your will, your way, when you have another human being there who has thoughts, opinions, ideas as well. And the minister told us in closing the gap what proper communication was. And it, so again, follow the leader. Number 4, honey.
Well, number 4, there would be for you as a person who is listening now, you're listening to her, you're listening to him, is to implement what they're trying to get you to do. Implementation is a great part of our problem as a people because we talk a whole bunch. We don't implement nothing. And I can tell you that because I've learned process, I've listened to my wife, and implementation of what she's trying to get me to do, that's a problem that a lot of husbands don't do. We're not open to her influence. She is in a relationship with you. She's not under you. She's in a relationship with you all the way to see you be successful. And I can tell you that so many of us are not open to her influence. And that's why we suffer so much in our marriage, because we'd rather her go so we get us a new one who will be open to our influence. But she has been with you and she is settled with you. So help her and be open to her influence. That's one of the main things that we teach. Be open to her influence.
Right. Number 5. Number 5 is have weekly or monthly meetings. Communicate with each other. Again, it's the communication, but it's now we are building our little kingdom of God. And if we really are focused on, okay, the God, Master Prophet Muhammad came, he taught the exalted Christ, most honorable Elijah Muhammad with a 3rd grade education. Look what he did from following what Master Prophet Muhammad said. And then the minister now, Allah said, I'm going to be merciful and give y'all another one. If it wasn't for the minister and his family sacrificing, none of us could be sitting here. None of us would know to say, Assalamu alaikum. You know, so when we know that, then it's like, what did the God come to do? What was his purpose? Like you just said, Yaqub in reverse, we're trying to go back to the kingdom of God. So therefore, those of us who are first generation, I don't even know how many generations we are now in the nation, but it is to bring in the kingdom of God. So if we're about the business of building that kingdom, then I can't be willy-nilly. We have to have an agenda. we have to have something to discuss to move towards. And our regional minister, Brother Malik Saeed, always said that to the married couples when he participates with us. He says to them, he said, you must have goals for your marriage, because if you don't have goals, you become the goal to each other and you're attacking each other. You see what I'm saying? So if all we do, okay, yeah, we eat, we go to work, we eat, we go to work. Are we going to work like this for the next 10, 15, 20 years? No. So again, having that business meeting as a family and including the children in it. Because again, you're making a little God. So if I'm making a little God, man, we'll be surprised what come out the mouths of our children. Well, mommy, daddy, why don't you try this or why don't you try that? And you be like, you know what? Let me try it. Let me try. So include everybody in it and watch how it grows the family. Everybody's excited because we're all on the same page trying to make something happen.
Very good. The main thing that I want to share with you is this juncture, brother. We got to be leaders. Leaders are leaders, and leaders are readers. You must read. You must take out your Quran. You must take out your Bible and read a verse or two, something to inspire your mind. And you got to inspire her too, because she's your wife. You expect her to inspire you, but are you inspiring her with anything? And the thing that we don't do a lot of is we go by our own knowledge. But we can go into the books and get the knowledge that the book is teaching you and read it and share it with her and with your family. You know, a lot of children, they go to school for 12 years and they stop reading after the 12th year. I'm not reading nothing. You know, Al Bundy, who was on Married with Children, that show, they loved Al Bundy because Al Bundy talked about one day in high school when he was there and he was on the football team and he scored 4 touchdowns at Oak High School. But that was the extent of his life. You're a grown man. You know, you're working. What are you doing today? That's what the teachers of Islam say to us. What are you doing today? Your brother from the East wants to know at once. So I'm just saying to us that we got to be readers, because if you're not reading, and I ask people all the time, brother, I say to them, your husband, how many books on being a good husband do you own?
I'm about 17.
And wait. He says, I got none. I said, you're a father, you got 17 children. How many how many books do you own on being a good father? I ain't got none. Okay, all right, that's fine. We turn to the mother. We say to the wife, we say to her, how many books do you own on being a good wife? She says, none. How many books do you own on being a good mother to your children? You especially that you got 17 children, you got to know how to be a good mother to all the children. No books on being a good mother. We are not reading. It's like this. The minister said it like this. He said, we act as if no prophet of God has ever came to us. We must be good readers. We must be good learners, because we got another generation behind you. They coming. They're looking at you. They're gonna say to you one day, "Did you ever read anything? What was your motto?" We got Minister Farrakhan, yes, okay, but what did you read from him? What did you learn from him? What did you learn from all the other people in the Nation of Islam? But if you're not reading anything, what will you be able to tell them? That's the main thing, that we must be better readers. That's all I can encourage.
And number 7, action.
Oh,
Put into action what you have learned. Because what happens is, and most of the time, if your wife or the husband is a study or read, and they're expecting you to be, especially for our brothers, and I say especially for the men, because Allah puts you as the Khalifa. You are the head of your family. You are the moral person that helps bring the family up and closer to God by your example. And then the minister told us what? God, man, woman, child. I tell people all the time, I don't care what you hear, what you heard, that's the proper order. God, man, woman, child. Once we understand that's the proper order, then when you come into what divine order, like the minister said, when we come under divine order, we're feeding the very essence of our DNA. Mm-hmm. You are in accord with Almighty God, Allah, so that now you have a peace about you. You have, I don't have to guess, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. The God set it up already perfectly for us. All we have to do now is like our our regional minister, Brother Sharice would say, obey God. Obey God. That's all. And how do you obey God? He has his Messiah in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He has his living and exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the God himself, Master Fard Muhammad. So therefore, you have divine guidance. We can't say, well, there's no guidance in the world at all, which they say. But like my husband just said, because you act like there has never been a divine man in our presence at all, and there is. So now it's put into action what I believe. Like the minister said, if you're a Christian, if you are whatever you believe, if you practice your principles of belief, we can all walk together.
right.
So now in my marriage, in my relationship, it's not do as I say, not as I do. It's I want good treatment, treat your spouse good. You want respect, give them good respect. Show by your actions, because a lot of us pay lip service, and when someone looks at what you're doing, it's totally opposite of what you're saying, but your actions speak volumes. So be about the action. You can't say, well, I'm a Muslim. Well, what's a Muslim? Submit my will to do the will of God. Okay, that's it. What are we taught in our flag? Our flag represents Islam. Freedom, justice, and equality equals Islam. Let me stop right there. Am I practicing that in my house? Do I practice with justice and equity? Am I a spiritual person striving to be spiritual? Because see, it changes the Negro behavior. It changes the Negro behavior.
That's first hat buzz.
That's it.
Negro behavior. It's the first thing that if you scratch it a little bit, the Negro is gonna come out of
A little cavey.
Yes, we still a little cavey, brother. And that's the thing that we must fight against. That first response, that Negro response. We gotta go for the divine. You gotta dig deeper for the divine response to your issues with your wife, and you're having problems with your husband. You gotta dig deeper. The God is in there somewhere. You can find him if you can dig for him. And God is so present and so outstanding of a God that he allows you to make your mistakes, because he knows you ain't got nowhere else to go. You come right back to him, and I can tell you that over the years, I've made so many. God knows I did. I have made mistakes. I want you to know that, audience. But this woman here has forgiven most of my mistakes. She's forgiven most of my mistakes.
Great segue. I got a question. All right. So say now, because when we was off on break, you all were telling me about how people are doing their second times around and whatnot, right? So, one thing that you don't want to do is make the same mistake twice, right? So, with the issues of trust and the issues of, like you say, the mistakes and forgiveness,
Yes.
you know, first, how did you humble yourself, ask for forgiveness, and how did you muster up the power to forgive?
A great man is made up of two great forgiveness.
Bars.
We can't have a marriage where one of us forgives and the other one don't. No, both of us have to be both willing to forgive each other because we're going to make mistakes. And you are going to have to forgive some of the mistakes I make, just like I forgive the mistakes that you make. And I can tell you that over the course of a lifetime, if you make too many mistakes, then maybe the marriage is not going to be worth it to you. But Jesus said, how much must I forgive? He didn't say the old prophet taught you 7 times 7. He said, I teach you a new thing, a new commandment, 70 times 7, which represents infinity. I want you to forgive each other in your marriages, your relationships, 70 times 7. And that represents infinity because we are going to make mistakes. But the couples that last are the couples that forgive. I'm going to say that one more time. The couples that last are the couples that forgive. If you are the couple that's sitting there holding back yourself from him, or you holding yourself back from her, it's not going to work. We have to be of the mindset that we're in this together. And I can tell you that when you are that kind of person who forgives, then that person gets God's forgiveness quick too. Because we pray a prayer to God forgive me for my sin, as I forgive others for their sins. That's in the Bible for a reason, because you have to do one if you want God to do the other.
And that's also where it comes into to have the minister gave us auditing. Why? Because we have so much trauma. We have so much pain. And our pain didn't just start when we were born. You talking about centuries of the hell that we've been through in the hell of North America.
Yes.
You see that? So the cries, the prayers of our ancestors, we're sitting here because of those cries. We're sitting here because of those who went through all kind of things in their life. But when you're in a relationship, like my husband said, and I tell this to sisters all the time, I said, you remember who you are. And the minister says to us and repeats it to us, number one, you are the second self of God. You are not the woman of man. You are the woman of God. And we have, in MGT class, we have, again, I always thank a lot for our national sister, Captain Naima Muhammad, because of what she has done with our class and how it is structured for us to keep us in that mindset. And she gave us a book called Allah is Sufficient for Me in All of My Needs. And I tell sisters right now, if you're going through something, go to the back of that book. And it says, who will rule the female? And the minister says, are you going to be a channel for God, or are you going to be a channel for Satan? So see, the Negro of self, oh, I'm going to be vindictive. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut him this way. I might put some extra cayenne in his baby soup. See, it's easy to be vindictive.
Right.
But when you have a divine man saying, you sister, be a channel for God, that means now I got to go to my prayer rug. I got to pull on the God within and connecting to the God without to send to me, because all you gotta do is scratch us, right? It's gonna come out. But it's like, no, we're working on developing our divine divinity of self. Same thing for brother. Oh, you can say what you want to say, do what you want to do, but is that the way of a divine man? It's not. I have to change what I'm used to and become what I don't even know. But how do you know? You have a man in your midst that's showing you how to do it. You have books, you have self-improvement, you have auditing. We have so much. We have no excuse. We have no excuse at this point except one thing. Like the minister said, what, on his 90th birthday, you live in Niggerville? You want to stay in Niggerville. It comes to a point where you are willingly saying, you know what, I love Niggerville. I don't know what that Godhood stuff is, but I love Niggerville. No, we don't. We don't want that. Again, we're trying our best every day. Come on. Every day to get closer to our Creator, because the closer we get to Him, we discover who we are on that divine side. And it's so much peace in a world full of hell. So why not act on what we have been taught to be successful? And when you talk about single brothers, I don't see how y'all brothers do it. I personally don't. I personally don't know how brothers are single for 10 and 15 years. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. All I know is God is making the woman of God for you in that MGT and GCC class. There's no excuse at this point except just say it. I'm scared. I'm scared, Allah. I'm scared. I need you to be like the lion and give me some courage. Courage, God, to challenge myself to submit to Allah and watch how marrying MGT and GCC, marrying the woman who you with and you playing with.
That's right.
And you, sister, you letting them play with you. Let's be honest.
That's right.
My mama taught me well. She said, child, why go out for milk if you got the cow at home? If you giving that man everything he would get as a married man, so why he gonna put the ring on it for?
That's right. That's right.
Well, with that being said, if you believe what you heard, the truth, unify people. No. Sister, you are on point. Brother, you are on point. Very much appreciate you all coming with that strong hard truth, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna make our nation better.
Absolutely, brother.
So I got a custom here on the podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How to eat to live.
Yes.
Now, poor Marvin, I ain't put you on the spot, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. Come on, man. I ain't talking about nobody, just talking about what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Do you cook?
I can cook. I can cook. I throw down in the kitchen. She don't believe me, but I can throw down.
Okay, all right.
I make some mean lasagna, brother.
Okay, right. Okay, see now lasagna ain't that ain't something to shake a stick at. That's science.
That's science to it, brother.
All right, I just wanted to ask. I always ask. So let me ask. I'm gonna ask both of you. Do you have a how to eat to live testimony? And then do you all have a how to eat to live testimony that involves each other?
Well, my how to eat to live testimony is very recent. Again, practicing what we have been taught. And because I have been very regimented in practicing how to eat to live. Have I slipped? Absolutely. Stress, you want to get something you ain't supposed to. But for the most part, by God's grace, being very regimented, I've lost over 30 pounds.
Oh,
so praise be to Allah. So yes, sir. And working out, really seeing how working out helps to lessen stress, gives you more energy, and I tell people now all the time, I'm like, look, those little chair exercises, the little lazy exercises you can do in the bed, they work wonders. They work wonders when your body starts to be in pain, your back or something. Do some yoga movements. Do something to stretch that part of you because it needs movement. So yeah, I definitely have been loving just doing that, just following what we've been taught. And again, it says it's from God in person. What else do you need?
Right. Now, for me, I was able to do 7 days of fasting with nothing but tea and coffee. Really? Yes, sir. And I've lost some weight with that. I'm down in my weight, and I can do a little better. But I am down. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel like I can make it with Allah's help. So I can tell all of you that Eat to Live is the way to go for all of us. We can't do it without how to eat to live. Thinking is one thing, but how to eat to live is a whole other thing that you got to implement and make it a part of your daily practice. Thank you.
See, the next one with that 7-day fast, maybe we have to get together, Paul. But I want to know clarity. Did you get mental clarity?
Yes, of course. Of course, I was so clear. My mind was focused on. I saw the eons in the air.
Okay.
I started seeing stuff. No, I'm playing.
Okay.
No, nothing happened like that, y'all. But I was clearer, and I could listen to thought. I thought it might have been sincere whispering, because I don't know what it was. But I was listening. Yeah. I could listen to Cecilia. I could listen better time.
Oh, praise. Do we're gonna go to break and see if we can hear some atoms cracking, and we'll go further once we return. Thank you.
When I met the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I met a man issuing a call to black people to come to Islam, to come not to join a religion, but to come to that which is yours by nature, that was taken from us when our fathers were brought forcibly to these shores over 400 years ago. Islam is the very power that we need to overcome our enemies, to master ourselves, and to master the circumstances that up to this point have mastered us. Islam is light, it is life, it is power. It is the sun of law and truth and righteousness. Islam is everything, sun, moon, and star. Nothing escapes the purview of Islam. So when we say that we have accepted Islam, we have accepted our nature, we have accepted the nature of God, we have accepted truth in its broadest dimension, we have accepted law and righteous principle, and we say that we accept it because we intend to conform, to mold and shape our lives according to the truth. And if we do that, those who heed the call of God coming through the prophet or messenger or apostle, they generally avoid the destruction intended for the rejectors and the wicked.
All betterment groups, no matter who they are, there is a surah in the Holy Quran called the Allies. And in that particular surah, it talks about those who believe and want to help man should stand shoulder to shoulder in ranks. See? And what we should do is drop all of the division, all of the false ideas and false ideology that we've all fallen victim to, and remove the scale from over our eyes and be able to judge a tree by the fruit it bears and judge a man or an organization by its works. The works of the Church of Scientology should be held in high esteem of us all. So groups like the Nation of Islam, the Catholic Church, the Muslims all over the world, if we see the good of one another, we should take that good, learn from it, get in exchange, you see, do what other nations do, trade to the point to where we're in exchange. And so I'm just thankful that in this hour that I found a betterment group, that we were told in the Nation of Islam that at a time in our development, we would meet other purified people who would show us things that we can be in exchange with and take tools back to our community and help our people. And I'm telling you, the world would be a better place if all of us, whether we're Catholic, whether we're Muslim, whether we're Baptist, whether we're Episcopalian, you know, we should learn from one another. And that's what I like about the Church of Scientology. You don't hold back information. It's here for anybody to get. It's here for anybody to take to their own religious idea, their culture, their ethnicity. I'm telling you, and that's the beauty, what I love. I don't feel stranglehold. In fact, I have become a better Muslim as a result of my relationship to the Church of Scientology. My mentor, my leader, teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, said, God hates ingratitude. And the world should be grateful that in our lifetime, along came a being known as Mr. L. Ron Hubbard, who looked into the universe, who just looked and observed and put together for all of us. He took out of the universe truths and codified them in a way and simplified them in a way and could put it in a book called Way to Happiness, that now that book is changing the reality in the lives of people from a negative to a positive. We say that when a man comes along like that, his name should be mentioned right along with the names of the saints. And we are thankful to Almighty God that a human being like Mr. Hubbard came this way. And not only did he come, he took enough responsibility to see into the future and to put a truth into the future that could change lives for better for millions and possibly trillions of years that's in front of us. So for that, we are grateful.
Studying the nation with good information, good books, good materials to read, you know, good retreats.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
How do you see marriage in the future of our nation?
Good question.
I pray, and I know that the more, again, if we act on what we have been taught, it should get the ultimate goal is to not have divorce. Period.
Right.
And when we do, especially our single social weekends, we talk about put in your mind this sentence: I'm looking for a partner till death, a lifetime mate. See, that's a different mindset than if this don't work out, I got an A, B, C, D plan. You know, that's a different mindset.
Right.
But if I'm going into it with that and saying, this is my list, this is my requirements for my future mate. And I tell sisters, I said, you got 100 things on your list. And you find somebody that can do 80 or 70 of that list, you doing dang good. And I think a lot because I tell people all the time, I said, I didn't know I would be married at 19. But the funny thing was at 15 and 16, I had my list at that age of what my future husband was, what characteristics my future husband was supposed to have. I'm 15 years old. I don't know what I'm doing. But I wrote this list. And by God's grace, Marcus is my husband by Allah's grace today because he checked off every mark on my little list at 15 or 16 years old. And the number one was I was looking for, I love God, always loved God. I was looking for a husband that loved God. That when we can go to, whether it was church or at that time I was studying to be a Jehovah's Witness. My whole family were baptized except my household. So I was going to Bible study, having studies in the house. And my husband, when he first told me, he said, I'm a Muslim now and this, that. I'm sending him letters with scriptures. And I'm just sending him pages of scriptures and all kinds of stuff. And he said, well, I want you to come December of 1991. He said, I want you to come with me to the mosque. And we went to the mosque in Manhattan and Brother Conrad spoke that night. Every question I was asking in Bible study, he answered it in the first lecture I heard as a first timer. So see, that's why I'm saying it's so important that we practice what we have been taught. So if we do that, brother, we can, that's not just a goal, that can happen, that we take the courtship more seriously. We take the marriages more seriously, because if we do that, and I always say, I keep going to the brothers. I said, brothers, you have to know what you want. You are looking for that MGT, that wife that fits your puzzle. She just falls right in. But if you don't know where you're going, like my husband said, who are you? Where are you going? How you gonna get there? If you don't have a goal, you don't have a vision, like the minister said. What is if there's no vision, the people perish.
That's right.
If a sister said, well, brother, what do you want me to help you to do? God says, I'm your help me. This is a question, everybody in courtship, use this one question. I'm your help me. What do you need me to help you to accomplish, to produce God's kingdom on earth? If you don't have a plan, then you need to further work.
Right.
By yourself.
By yourself. Mm-hmm. Because the minister said, he said, you taking fire in your bosom if you are getting a woman and you have nothing for her to help you to do. You know why most divorces happen? Because that woman is putting fire under that brother, and he don't want that fire, so he gonna bail out and go find somebody who a little bit more easier, a little bit more palatable. I'm gonna add some extra cream over here. No, she wanna help. The minister said our job as women, whether we Muslim, Christian, it don't matter, is to help that man become a God. To help him to become a God. And vice versa, for him to, man, you know how much my husband has helped me and tolerated all my stuff, just like I tolerate him, he tolerates my stuff too. We ain't fall out of heaven, and if we think so, well, somebody asked us, they said, is there a problem if we're looking for the perfect mate? Excuse me? How can you look for that which we are not? We're not. The minister said the earth has a wobble in it.
Wobble.
And so do you. And if you say you perfect, you need to be by yourself too, because nobody ain't gonna satisfy you.
It's a lot of what is probably our elimination of this. We're looking for perfection. Looking for Beyonce Muhammad. Looking for Idris Muhammad. But they don't exist. Even the most prettiest, the most finest woman, she's so she fine. She got issues. She got some stuff that you don't know about. She hide it from you, brother. She gonna find it out. She might be a little off. She might have a little something going on around her life. That's when you find it, you're gonna be like, oh my God. I did not know you had this issue. But I can tell you that we do have issues. All of us, every last one of us, the cutest of us all got issues. So that's why we say when it comes to courtship, you might enter into courtship. That's not bad. All courtship does not lead to marriage.
Exactly.
Nor should it. know it's pretty.
That's
But you should be in courtship with somebody.
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 Once a year.
At least once a year. But now we've been in courtship 15 years. We've been in courtship 20 years. We've been in courtship 30 years.
Again. The restrictive law is our
It's our success.
And that, as Brother Mustafa said, what did he say at one of the meetings? He said, "You a natural man, right?"
Right. If you're ready to Sister Beyonce crazy, I mean, Beyonce, right? And but this, I'm a firm believer in this. Anything that you see in somebody else, it's in yourself. Yeah. Right? So where do you, sister for the sisters, brother for the brothers, where do you start in getting yourself to the point that you're ready for marriage?
Healing. Healing. You have to start, like, if you've been divorced, if you are single, if you're married, we all have issues. We know some of our issues, but you really ain't gonna know the depth of your issues, because marriage will bring out your personal Leviathan. You will see stuff that you was like, where did that come from? I didn't even know that. Listen here, we are straight and honest with you. We do not code it. But one time I got so mad at my husband, I had to say, "Oh, where did that come from? I didn't even know it was in me." Okay, so again, once stuff gets stirred up, you see a side of you. Not only does your spouse see it, but your children can see it. This one can. There's stuff in us. So therefore, brother, may Allah be pleased with our sister, Dr. Ava Muhammad, when she said, when you are single, you are in the best place because you have the time to work on yourself while you by yourself. And see, the problem is that if we're not working, if you think I'm perfect the way I am, I was listening to some little clip the other day, and it was what was it called? Black Love. It was on I think it was Netflix. One of them, I was watching it, and one of the couples she said, "Oh, I thought I was perfect. I didn't think I had any issues." And she said, "When I got married, my husband began to let me know, oh, you got plenty of issues." And that's what happens, because if you're by yourself, nobody pushing you, nobody doing nothing, you know, everything is, you don't know who you are. Right. Until somebody tells you, I'm experiencing you too, right? My husband tell me that, he's like, I'm experiencing you too. You got some issues too, And I'm like, I know my issues more better, So, honey, for the brothers.
For the brothers, I would tell you, Beyonce Muhammad does not exist. She does not exist. I don't care how perfect she walks, how perfect she appears. She got some issues that you are going to discover once you get married. And I can tell you that sometimes it's not going to be pretty. You discover her issues.
How do they handle that?
Oh my God, some bucks go from the deep end. They go from the deep end and they become physically violent to her. You should never become physically violent. My father was physically violent to my mother. Oh my God. He certainly is the reason that I chose to be one of those type of men who never hit my wife. Right. Because I know the pain that I've seen her going through. And I never wanted my children to see her going through what my mother was going through. And my mother was never the same. She lived to 75. He died at 43 years old. Because you don't live long with no woman.
Full of anger. You don't live long just full of anger.
He was, oh my God. And it just happened like that. So I can tell you that to the sister, when the brother discovers that you ain't quite what you appear to be on the surface, he got to be patient with you. He's got to be very patient. And a lot of times we're not patient. That's the key word for all of us when we are going through life. We got to be more patient.
So you just touched on something, Brother Markley.
Yes, sir.
You touched on the fact that. So hold up.
Uh-oh. Wait a second.
Yes, say don't exist. Right? So I remember student minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad always telling us, oh brother, you're meeting the representative.
All right, that's right.
Can you teach on the representative?
Oh my God, brother, it's always something. You know, when you meet these sisters and they have ways to curl their hair and have the right scent on. Oh my God. And you meet them, you like, whoo, she fine. Whoo, she fine. Whoo, she fine. But that's her representative. That's not her.
Right.
That's the representative that you're meeting because she don't want you to meet her real self just yet until she got you. Then she can become this person that you will have in your life as your partner. But I can tell you that you have to allow that process to happen because none of us want anybody to see us the way we really are. You got to put your best foot forward. But, you know, sometimes we got to do what we can to become more inviting to the person that's looking at us, considering us for a courtship. And I can tell you that sometimes when we meet the other side of that person, oh man, that's a very deep thing. Some people appear like brothers. Brother appear like he's a strong FOI. A strong FOI. He's one of them people that sing the song FOI. And brother turned out to be gay.
Oh. No, hold on, wait a minute. We ain't got no gay FOI. Hold up.
Hey, yes, sir. Okay, I'm not going to it. I'll tell you this.
No. This is a real I'm being funny, but no. This is a real talk discussion. Go on to it. Brother, do your thing.
We have some brothers that are a little fruity. They the real fruit.
We got no fruity fruit. Hello, man. It's hard for me to stay over here, brother. Hold up now.
I'm just saying that, you know.
We have to remember that all of our people are coming into the nation, right. And the nation is a hospital.
Right.
The minister said, whatever's out in the world is coming into the ranks, right. But we cannot stay that way. Just like in any church, we cannot stay that way. So we can't say, oh, there's no everybody's coming in. So we don't know what's coming in. We don't know what people are fighting with, are dealing with, right. Because again, our teachings is the medicine. Right. And if we, again, putting into action, we have to put into action the behaviors to straighten our back out. Right. Because again, we're curled over. We crawling, the minister said, we on a beast level.
Right.
So if you're in the cesspool of this degenerate world, then everything is, that's why courtship is so necessary. That's why you must make sure that you don't have no secret undercover stuff going on. No hidden courtship. Nobody know you in courtship till you say I do. Right. And then it's a 30-day courtship because you done saw some stuff in 30 days. You done saw some stuff in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, what kind of stuff are we doing?
Right.
But we got to take it. That's why I said we have to take relationships serious and do it the proper way. Let your laborers know.
Right.
Let your sister captains know who it is. First of all, it's what city this person is from. Are they, again, the enemy is the enemy.
That's right.
Again, listening to what we're being taught. What time are we in?
That's right.
So when you know this now, you can't play with your life. You can't play with your children's life. You better do your due diligence. And I say all the time, well, I don't get it. When I came in the ranks of me and my family, we don't talk, we don't get along, so there ain't no need to talk to none of my family. Wait a minute, you just got married to somebody and you ain't talking to nobody?
Right.
I don't know. Oh, my mama dead, my daddy dead, everybody dead. Let's visit the cemetery. Get some proof. Can I see the obituary? Because again, I'm laughing, but I'm serious. Because this day and time, we cannot play around. The horror stories are the horror stories. Because some of us been in this nation long enough to have, even if it wasn't your experience, it was someone's experience with something.
Right.
So you can't go in with blinders. He say assalamu alaikum, she say assalamu alaikum. After assalamu alaikum, how do you live your life? If I was to follow you home, how do you live your life? Do your neighbors know you're a Muslim?
Right.
Do your neighbors know you're a Muslim?
That's right.
Do your co-workers know you're a Muslim? Well, where I work at, I gotta be down low. Can't let nobody know I'm a Muslim. Like, okay, I'm scared. But like he said, that's why we have to be on guard. The devil is the devil. And we live this life the proper way.
Praise belong to Allah. Well, we thank you for bringing all that hard truth. I gotta, wrap my mind around it. There's no Beyonce Muhammad.
But the little Lisa Muhammad, little simple sister. Hey, let me deal with this, man. This don't happen overnight. Don't be Trump gay.
Okay, so thank you, brother.
She walking in the day. She wants you, Richard. She wants you.
I'm gonna close with this one here. We had our show, and a brother came on the show, and he said he had a type.
Oh.
And that's the only type he went into courtship with.
Oh.
So and the courtships were not successful. So we said, brother, let's try something. Drop your type and ask Allah to give you his coloring to judge from her heart and her spirit. Don't look at, does she look like Beyonce? Does she look like this one? Does she look like that one? Because like the minister says, soon it'll all fall. I mean, what you gonna do? But the point was, he did that, and the sister he went in the courtship became his wife.
Oh,
Wow.
great.
Because he dropped the type, and he said, I'm going to try that. Because sometimes the type is what's your problem.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, well, brother, I said, listen here, stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Right.
Don't go jumping in the ocean and you don't have nothing on.
Right.
Stick to the lakes and the rivers that you used to. Brother said, well, these sisters are all about money, money, money. Okay, brother, stick to the sister that could work within your budget.
That's it.
Sister, this is what I bring to the table. Can you work with me?
Right.
No, brother, I can't. Okay, move on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna have to have part two. Clearly, our sister minister is full over here.
Right.
We're gonna have to do part two. Give her another hour. She can go into these things. But we need it, family. We really need it. That's why we're so thankful that you all came. Because just like we try to have real talk about how to live, marriage is something that we got to have that real talk about. And what's your how to eat to live go-to meal?
I'm fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and
I
vegetables.
love my fruits and vegetables. Starting, and my favorite is like blackberries and strawberries and the berries. And I love just doing the different fruits. And it's like, okay, we have our fruit, we have our salad, we have love the bean soup, love my broccoli soup. I'm a soup and salad person. If a restaurant is called soup and salad, I'm right there.
I always try to get that question. So we already know you can't lose on. You got so, but nevertheless, we'll try to have our brother and sister back on so they share the wealth of knowledge with us on marriage and preparation for marriage and types and there's a lot of good information. And so I'm gonna leave here, go get some auditing. I got to deal with the realism of no Beyonce Muhammad. We're gonna work on that. But thank you so much. And again, give everybody your website, your cash apps, your retreat information. Give that one more time so to make sure everybody got it.
Well, please just go to our website, www.themarriagekeepers.com. You can see the 2025 marriage retreat, the 15th annual one, August the 27th through September 1st. Inshallah, we will be at Detroit Mosque, Muhammad Mosque #1 with our student minister, Brother Troy Muhammad, and the believers there. You can register there. You can also sign up for counseling or call. You can also order books. So everything is there on the website, www.themarriagekeepers.com. Thank you so much.
Great. And you always know that you can always contact us here at the 10,000 The Ark, the 10,000 Fearless. We're going to put the cash app right there in the ticker there. So make sure that you all give your donations, come out, give your service. Because we're always doing something in the community. We're doing community patrols. We're always feeding the hungry. So come out and be a part of your 10,000 Fearless. You don't have to be a brother or sister Muslim to do that. Whatever your religious background, whatever your organization background, just come on and be a part of that because we're going to make our community a safe, decent place to live. Assalamu alaikum.